If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
That was not the answer. That's not the question, darling. He asked you, why is most of America over half? You're losing in most of the votes right now. Why, if he's as bad as you think he is, he's for personal gain and everything is personal and he doesn't care for the American people, why is America choosing Trump over Kamala Harris?
Yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump. You call Donald Trump. He's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many...
This interview shows me that neither is Kamala Harris. She's not stable. She's all over the gaff. So I'm back for part 2 of the Vice President Kamala Harris absolutely getting demolished on this interview, guys, with Fox News, bro. As you guys know, if you do not know, go check out the last video. I did a part 1, I'm on part 2 now. I didn't get to finish I was too busy. I was talking a bit too much in the vid. I'm not gonna lie, I got out of hand because Kamala Harris really is showing her true colors on this interview and I was just getting out of hand. However, we're gonna be doing part 2. I'm gonna speak less, we're gonna listen more, and we're gonna get into it, bro. But without further ado, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below right now. Let me know who you guys, which side are you on? I really want to know, which side are you on? Are you on Trump? Are you on Kamala 2024? Let me know. Me as a British guy doing a reaction to American politics and picking which president they're gonna have. I'm saying Trump's the best in this case, in this scenario. I'm not saying he's the best in general, but he's the best in this scenario. It's Trump or Kamala. I'm picking Trump. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's get it.
Why do you think more people say they trust him on the economy than they trust you?
I think that when you look at an analysis of our plans for what we would do as President of the United States, it has been clear to those who study and understand how economic policy works that moving forward, because I do believe the American people are ready to turn the page on the divisiveness and the type of rhetoric that has come out of Donald Trump. People are ready to chart a new way forward, and they want a president who has a plan for the future and a plan that is sound and will strengthen our country. My plan for the economy does exactly that. His plan would be, again, to give tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations in our country and blow up our deficit.
It's interesting you said turn the page, Madam Vice President. You were asked on 2 different shows last week what, if anything, you would do differently.
I do want to say this interviewer right here, he's brilliant. He's amazing. This interviewer right here, bro, I'm going to do my research upon him after I've done this reaction because he is amazing. Amazing. Absolutely ripped and rips her apart consistently with this interview. Completely shows her true colors. Completely skips through the straight bullshit comes out of Kamala Harris's mouth, and he's straight, direct and to the point.
Then President Biden, here's what you said.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Under a Harris administration, what would the major changes be?
What's the difference? Yeah.
What would stay the
same? That's what I want to know.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'm obviously not Joe Biden.
I know.
And so that would be one change in terms of... Yes. But also, I think it's important to say with, 28 days to go, I'm not done.
She says the same things over and over again. Sorry. Sorry, bro. Well, bro, it's the same thing. She keeps saying that. Obviously, I'm not Joe Biden. Forget that joke. That joke's dead. All right? You are Joe Biden. You literally are, because you was right next to him the whole time and there's been no changes. Like, bro, you are Joe Biden.
Trump.
So, you're not Joe Biden, you're not Donald Trump, but nothing comes to mind that you would do differently?
Let me be very clear. My presidency will not be a continuation of Joe Biden's presidency. And like every new president that comes in to office, I will bring my life experiences, my professional experiences, and fresh and new ideas. I represent a new generation of leadership. I, for example, am someone who has not spent the majority of my career in Washington, D.C. I invite ideas, whether it be from the Republicans who are supporting me, who were just on stage with me minutes ago, and the business sector and others who can contribute to the decisions that I make about, for example, my plan for increasing the supply of housing in America and bringing down the cost of housing, addressing the issue of small businesses, which is about working with the private sector to bring more capital and access to capital to our small business leaders, including my plan for a $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers and for small businesses, extending the tax deduction from $5,000 to $50,000.
We've heard
Sounds
a
good.
lot about those plans in recent days. Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. So what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all,
From her fuckery. From her fuckery that we want to call leadership for the last 3.5 years. That's what we're turning the page from. She now knows from the people in America saying to her, yo, what have you really been doing? Now she knows. Maybe she sat back and really realized, but she can't say it because it looks bad upon her part. But maybe when she's on her own, she sat back and really realized, you know what? We really didn't do much apart from cause havoc. So now let me say that we're going to turn the page. I believe her. I believe she's really trying to turn the page from what she's done the last 3.5 years. She really just can't say that though, because it's not good publicly, and it's just not a good period for Joe Biden and all of the people in leadership around them for her to say, you know what, we was doing terrible. So she's just gonna keep saying, we tried our best, we did our thing, but now let's turn the page. You feel me? You feel me though?
The last decade in which we have been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Rhetoric and an approach to leadership that suggests that the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down instead of what we all know. The strength of leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is
tell
about turning the
pollsters-
page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than
People are
70% of people
exhausted.
tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong
Speak for
track,
itself.
that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But you're
people
the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade,
Over the last
it
decade,
is
what?
clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him
Madam
instead
Vice
of
President,
the American people.
if
People
that's the
are
case,
tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is
Why?
an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
That was not the answer. That's not the question, darling. He asked you, why is most of America over half? You're losing in most of the votes right now. Why, if he's as bad as you think he is, he's for personal gain and everything is personal and he doesn't care for the American people, why is America choosing Trump over Kamala Harris? Her answer is, it's not supposed to be easy. That's not the question. You feel me though? Like, it's stuff like this that I can't get my head over why you would choose Kamala Harris. Just answer the question. Not even just answer the question, because it's not like it's a difficult question. Like, she's trying. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna let you guys know.
I know, but
It's
if
not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a
So
cakewalk
are they misguided,
for
the
anyone.
50%?
Listen,
Are they
let me-
stupid? What
Oh,
is
God,
it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you...
I'm telling you that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that.
Yes.
And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And
is she talking about when Donald Trump said he's going to lock people up when he's president for botching the last presidency, how Joe Biden beat Trump? Then yeah, of course he's going to threaten them, because it was, I believe, and a lot of America believe, including Donald Trump believes, that that presidential election was rigged. It was rigged. It had, you know what? Because you're allowed to speak on this now. You wasn't allowed to speak on this before. It was rigged. And like, comment, do whatever you want to do. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. But genuinely, it didn't seem right. It isn't right. But anyway, we're going to keep going. I don't want to talk about this too long, bro. It's a dangerous topic. It's dangerous.
this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump...
The significance of that.
You call Donald Trump, he's misguided. You say now he's unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many...
This interview shows me that neither is Kamala Harris. She's not stable. She's all over the gaff. She's all over the place, bro. She's not stable, bro. This is not an interview. This is not what an interview looks like with a stable person sitting there telling you.
Interviewers that Joe Biden was on his
just trying to keep it together. She really wants to flash out.
Staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best,
days, come on,
including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, in the several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself, and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that
but those
is,
proxies were getting funded by
my
Iran.
commitment to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions
Let's
in
go back
oil
to Donald
profits.
Trump, who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put
But here are
Iran in check.
the estimates
and then
in billions.
It was during
Sorry, guys. Just want to see what
Iran, like billions
let's
in
go back
oil
to Donald
profits.
Trump, who pulled out.
2021, 37 billion. 2022, 54 billion. 2023, 53 billion. 2024, 51 billion.
Who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put
But here are
Iran in check.
the estimates
and then
in billions
it was during Donald Trump's
that
administration
go towards
that
the Iran regime.
that we had an American military
Speaks for
base that
itself.
was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention
Madam
how
Vice
Donald
President,
Trump has,
all of this money
has treated
that
and
has
talked
gone
about
in the
America's
past few
military
years.
and military service people,
Critics
calling
say
them
that it goes to
suckers and
Hezbollah,
losers,
Hamas,
has diminished
and
the
Houthis.
significance.
We're talking over each other. I apologize.
Well, I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of
The thing is, if you have a conversation with Kamala Harris, and Brett knows this, it's going to be 3 hours long. It isn't going to be 26 minutes long. It's 27 minutes long. So Brett's doing his job as in cutting her off at some point, because she'll go forever. And it's not her fault. It's just like, she's really just, again, unstable. Like, she keeps trying to call Donald Trump. It's just proof in the pudding to where she's unstable. She genuinely doesn't understand that, yo, some answers don't have to take half an hour to answer per question. Yes, some of these questions are very sensitive. Some of them are quite difficult to go around. But, bro, Kamala Harris, you guys can attest to this, bro. You've seen it in this interview, part 1 and now part 2. She doesn't stop. Like, she doesn't hit the nail on its head. She never lands the plane. The plane's always going, floating.
of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a
And
decision
there are
that
critics
they feel.
who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're wrapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what you wanted to say about Donald Trump. There are a lot of things
There's more to say. I have much more to say,
There are a lot of
actually.
things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and
Yes.
that's why we
I
invited
invite
you
everyone
here.
to go to KAMALAHarris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them, and it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do.
The people aren't looking for a CV. You feel what I'm trying to say, though? The people aren't looking for a CV when it comes to this type of interview. We're not looking for a whole 18-page essay of where you're from, middle class, are you black or are you Indian? What do you think you should do about America? Where should you put the money? Are you going to look? We're not looking for that. We're looking for, like, and not just me, like, I guarantee the American people are looking for more heart-to-heart conversation, like more of a, less of a pointing of, because you'd say Donald Trump points the finger and blames everybody but himself, but what is Kamala Harris doing when she's asked a genuine question about something she's going to do, and she instantly points her finger about Donald Trump's, but Donald Trump didn't do this, Donald Trump's made this worse, I'm just trying to fix what Donald Trump did, but Donald Trump did that. No, it doesn't come across good, it doesn't look nice, it's not in a pleasing, like, if I'm lost and I don't know anything about politics, which I kind of don't, I'm picking Donald Trump instantly just off of this interview alone. And she's done many of these like this. She's done many conferences like this. She's done many standing on stages yapping like this. So, like, consistency is key, and she's not being consistent with the right things. She's being consistent and pointing her finger, and that finger's going to be chopped off at some point, bro. And that's when Donald Trump is going to win. Because it's like, come on. Come on. Well, that's my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, please do comment. I want to see some comments down below of your opinion on this situation. This interview was great. Brett did a great job, in my opinion, in trying to basically direct it as he should have. Because we know that she can go straight yappery sometimes, and it needs to be cut down, and he did a good job with that. Apart from that, that's all I gotta say, bro. Like, subscribe, comment down below, put your post notifications on, catch you in the next one. If you like British reaction, my British reaction, because I'm British, obviously, to this, to the election, bro, in general, let me know. I'll just keep dropping them, because some of them are doing good, some of them aren't. Let me know. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Be out. Peace.
Bye. Have a great time.